Hello again. I thought I'd do another read and reaction to something that, like a list of, these little different list of things. Like here I found a website called the Top 10 Lists, or the top10s.com. And so we can scroll through here and see what we can find. Since I'm in education, I'll do my first one with that. Education, here's culture. Oh, most embarrassing things that can happen to you in school. Or top 10 pointless, let's do this one, top 10 pointless rules in school. Number one is uniforms required. And so, yeah, that seems to be a very pointless rule. I see why. I see their point of having uniforms. You just, if you walk into a school now, if there's no dress code, look, you'd be surprised what parents send their students to school in, and then try to defend it. We're preparing our children for employment, and then we got parents defending them, saying, "Oh, they can wear whatever they want." Well, yeah, but do you really want to let them do that? So, oh, no bathroom breaks. I remember having a principal one time say I let kids go to the bathroom too much. Here it says, so in my school, we get a bathroom break, but we have this dumb rule for the bathroom. No using the bathroom before class starts, no using the bathroom during passing periods, no using the restroom during lunch, and no using the restroom for the first 10 minutes or the last. Yes, that was always, that was a school that I know that did that, especially that last one. No using the restroom in the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes of class. So they want you to go right in the middle of class, when you're right in the middle of, yeah, and there are schools that have that rule. I think it's stupid. No using the restroom during these other breaks. So they want you to go during class, and I see why they're regulating bathroom, because you can't have the whole school going to the bathroom all the time at one time. And you do have children who abuse that rule. They just don't want to be in class, so they go to the bathroom. But yeah, but then during these big blocks of free time, when that'd be the best time to go, and that's when we go, as teachers. Like we go during our lunch, we go during the break. If we go to a workshop or a training, sometimes we'll go during the training. We'll just get up and walk out. But generally, they'll give us a break to go during that. So that's something I noticed too, is things that we preach to our students to not do in classes. If you go sit in a teacher's meeting, they're doing those same things. They're having side discussions. They got their phones out. They got computers out working on other stuff. If the principal says something, someone's going to always have an excuse why they can't do it. Go to a teacher's meeting one time. You'll see teachers doing things that they preach to their kids not to do. So, not every teacher. I'd say probably 20%, but especially the side time. I can't stand when I'm trying to listen to somebody. So yeah, but don't do that in our class, Lord. If you do that in their classroom, let me back my camera up a little bit. If you do that in their classroom, God forbid, you speak out of turn there. Why was my camera so on my face for? That's kind of weird. Okay. Number 3, no self-defense against bullies. Yeah, yeah. If someone, I've never considered that fair either. If one kid was attacking you, bullying you, saying things to you, you whack him, then you're in trouble. And potentially that other kid won't be, because they didn't lay a hand on you. They're just being like it. And so, or if someone picks a fight with you and you fight back, they want to give you both the same punishment for that. And that's something I've never been in favor of. That's not how the real world works. If someone attacks me and I'm fighting back, we're both not going to jail. Well, we might for that time being until they figure out what's what. But we're both not getting punished for him attacking me in self-defense. And so, but it's the easiest thing to do, just suspend them both and move on with life. That's what some principals do. If a student doesn't have enough lunch money in their accounts, the school has the right to deny them food. And you'll see that on the news quite often. the school systems I've worked in, I think most of them here in West Virginia, if not all by now, every child gets a free lunch. I mean, it's paid for by somebody, but there is a free lunch for everyone. So really don't have that in the districts where I've worked now. And before they did that, I couldn't imagine, them turning away a hungry kid. I say that, but there's those ding dongs out there that think they have to have that money. No electronics. This is one of those that I speak about all the time. We can stick our head in the sand and say, phones are bad, or stick our head in the sand saying iPads don't do that. Or we can use it for their benefit. Use it for something they're already using a lot of. Let's use it to where let's teach them how to use it properly. Let's teach them how to use it for the purposes of this course. Like that. Don't just, no phones. Which I see the point in some of that too, because kids like to take pictures. They'll take pictures of a teacher out of context. They'll post it, and the teacher looks silly. Then you have the whole community angry at that teacher for something they didn't do. And it's really weird how a whole community will believe a child when we all know children lie. So that's one thing. That's one thing I had to learn. Not people taking pictures, but my early years, that all children are going to lie to you. So, and then you have that one parent, my baby would never lie. Well, yeah. Must do your homework. That's not. I don't think that's a silly one. I don't find that to be a pointless rule. Most teachers go overload with the homework. Some people assign homework. I've seen teachers assign homework, especially during the quarantine. There were teachers at one of the local high schools that nearby, I think he would just print off random worksheets and staple it and call it a packet. And then kids would turn it back in, and you get full credit for it, whatever. You get full credit, and and that kind of homework, yeah, that's pointless. I don't like pointless, busy work. So, no. I used to hate when teachers were absent when I was in school, and then the substitute would have word searches and puzzles for us to do. And to this day, I don't like puzzles, word searches, because absent teachers given those to substitute teachers to do. I'll write a paper on this, and Lord knows I'm not going to read it. No chewing gum. And this is one where the bad people ruin it for the good people. Look under a desk or look in the floor. Kids who, will just in the floor, spit it in the floor when they're done with it, throw it in someone's hair, stick it under the desk, make a mess with it, throw it on the sidewalk for somebody to step on. So this is one I don't see as pointless. Blame the bad people in your school. So kids, if you see someone who's doing it to their gum, whack them. You have to take PE. I don't think PE is a pointless. It's not pointless. There's a point to PE when taught right. I've never liked those PE teachers who just gave you a ball and said play. That's no. It's a class. It's a discipline. It's content. No. No. If you have your teachers who just give you a ball and say play, then yeah, it's a pointless rule to do. Why would I have to do that? When it's organized and you learn something, then no, it's not pointless. But yeah. No hats or beanies. I never paid attention really as a teacher. I'd always feel bad when another teacher would pop her head in and tell a kid to remove their hat when they're in my room, which I think that's rude. Coming in my room to tell my kids what to do. But it's not disrespectful to wear a hat. I don't. When they get into the workforce, they'll learn not to wear hats. It's not just something. It's anyway. Not allowed to choose on seats. I've always allowed that. Small children, no. At first, I always allow them, and then they lose that privilege if they abuse it by being too disruptive or too distracted being there with them. So I always let students choose their seat. Not the university here where I'm teaching now. They choose their own seat, and there's no issue with it. But for children, they get the right to choose, the privilege to choose their own seat, but they can lose that privilege. So, no eating in class. Again, this goes back to the same with the gum one. You have your kids who make a mess, then they just walk off and leave it. I bet they do that at home though. They just make a mess on the table, spill their food. I remember I used to hate doing breakfast or lunch duty, and a kid would spill their milk. Janitor, I have no, no, no. You spilled that milk. You go get paper towels and do it. The custodian would come help because obviously it's all over the floor. The kid, don't have access to the mop. But if it's just on the table or at their seat, then no. I made them get the paper towel and clean the mess up themselves. So the custodian didn't make that mess, so he don't have to clean it up for you. But I was really good. I need a janitor. I spilled my milk. Always. In class, yeah, students do make a mess. But again, we need to teach them. If we want kids to behave and do things right, we have to teach them how to do those things. So, eating's not been one's bother me. No unnatural hair colors. Put your hair the way you want to. That's what I feel like. I don't, my job is to teach a certain context or content and some behavior. Like we teach behavior, like I said, but, we can inform them as they get older that certain, hairstyles aren't appropriate for like job interviews for certain companies, but they can take that in life. If they don't take that and they whatever, that's their business. But I don't care what your hair looks like. Must participate in plays. I've never had that one. I've never seen that. Do you remember in class plays? I've never seen a requirement for like a production for the whole school. I remember that's only happened in class was probably 4th grade. We did a play, and we just did it inside the classroom. We didn't, wasn't a big deal, so I don't think this one was. No talking. Well, if you have everybody talking, then not much is going to get done. So now if they're just totally no talking, then that's pointless too, because there needs to be discussion. There needs to be time for students to speak. So, no hard balls. My school doesn't have this. Everyone brings dodgeballs to class. Foosballs. How are you supposed to kick or throw them? Weird rule. Like baseball, or is that like, I don't know what that means. I've never, because we played, well, in my school we played wiffle ball. That's not really a hard ball. And tennis, I don't know what that one is. Let's see some more comments here. Are they talking about baseballs or, oh, never mind, or people are making not very nice comments there. Shorts or legging must be arm length. So these short girls, and there are some rules that are kind of not fair for people who have different size legs. Not different size like that, but maybe it's a girl who has, and these mainly in most dress codes do focus on females. If you're someone with really short legs or tall or longer legs, the dress code kind of discriminates against you like that. So yeah, not allowed to choose the song in a play. I've never really watched a Pacific School play that was remotely interesting. Yeah, well, unless you're rewriting the play, I don't see why you would choose a song for it if the song's already there. That's not one I really know. Keep your hands to yourself. I don't want people touching. That's not pointless. Don't touch people. That's just rude. I guess you can hug them or you hug your friends, but I'm not. No groups of friends over 5. That's not. Yeah, that would be kind of pointless. I've never heard of that rule in any school where I've worked. I have heard that if you go to one of the local malls here, if the security or somebody sees like a group of children of like more than 5, I think 5 or 6, then they go and try to break it up because they think they're going to do something or whatever. But I've never heard of this rule in a school. Must wear black shoes. What? In my school, you can wear any other you can wear any shoe except steel toe boots or anything that exposes your toe. I've heard that. Like nothing, everything had to cover your feet. And that's just for like a safety issue, I think, most of the time as well. But I've never heard shoes must be black, unless it's like a private school. And I've seen it for, like, oh, someone said right here, like, I've seen it for if you're going to perform, like chorus, choir, jazz ensemble bands. I've had that before. Like, they want everyone's shoes to be uniform, and that's just, that's not pointless. That's just part of performing. I've never heard of a school say that. Only water in water bottles. I think they're really making these up. Apparently, people's voted on these because I've never heard of these rules. Only water in water bottles. I guess they don't want you bringing a glass bottle because that would be dangerous. Because again, children drop and break things, or they'll whack somebody with it. But I bring coffee to school in my water bottle, and PE teacher gets mad at me like, "What? Well, you said water bottles." No crazy hair. Back to the other one, the color hair. I don't care how you wore your hair, but I have seen that rule before, and I have heard some schools limit the length for boys, but again, wear your hair the way you want to. I don't care. No throwing snowballs. Well, that's there are cases of, again, you have your little turds who think it's going to be funny to sneak a rock in there, and bam, there's been people like seriously injured or even killed because someone threw a snowball with a rock in it. So yeah, I can see that again, because this is another one where the bad people ruin things for the good people. There's no long hair. I've seen that, yeah. No crop tops or bikinis. Who? No bikini. Who would wear a bikini? I guess I say that, but there are children and his parents who would approve it and think, oh, you're discriminating against my rape if they would let him wear a bikini. So that's not a pointless rule. A crop top, yeah. Oh, there's more? No Teletubbies. Now they're getting stupid. No Teletubbies. No couples. Freedom of speech is limited. When they say that, is freedom of speech and then just blurting out when you should isn't out of you can't be in class and just. I remember having a student not get mad at me, but said she was mad at another teacher because she blurted something out about herself in class, and then she said the teacher was very discriminatory against her preference. And then I asked her, I said, was it during class or were you having a discussion about this? Because it was during class, and was the class about sexual orientation? No. I said, did you just stand up and blurt out? Yeah. I said, well, that's why your teacher was upset with you. She wasn't trying to limit your freedom of speech, and she wasn't discriminatory. But you could have stood up and said, I like hamburgers, and it would have still been inappropriate during class. No flip-flops. Yeah, people step on your toes for that. You have to let everyone in your club. I don't like that one. That is kind of a pointless one. I mean, I don't want. Well, no, that's not pointless. Usually clubs. What I remember, again, I'm from a rural area. These were mostly faculty-led anyway, so it wasn't like there were students saying you can't join our club. But no staring, no running, no hoodies. No fidget spinners. No. It's one thing we learned in school when I was training to be a teacher. Get rid of the no's and make rules that aren't no this, no that, no. Now, why is no knives a pointless rule? How is this pointless? Yeah, someone else said that. How is this pointless? Because you have those nut jobs out there who would bring a knife and stab somebody, even if it's a little kitchen knife. No jackets. Now that one's kind of funny. Not funny, but I remember children just in there shivering cold because they had to leave their coats in the locker. And they say it's a safety issue, but then the teacher's up there with a little coat on. It's not really fair. No tackle football. It's just people being. I say tackle all you want to, whatever. That's how you tough kids up. No riding bike until end of school hours. Well, that would be a pointless rule because are they riding bikes in school? I don't know that. Not being allowed to watch PG movies. Well, you have to watch out for that too, because just as soon as you show a certain movie, you would have a parent. It could be a very innocent movie. That parent would come in and complain at how they've been trying to not expose their child to this, and it could be a super innocent movie. So yeah, I can understand that one being there, because sometimes they can be a headache. People can be a headache. They come in and complain like that. That's no food, no selling, no sharing food. Must learn a foreign language. Well, I think we should. I should be forced. I don't think we should be forced to learn a foreign language, but I think it should. That's one of those we need to have more of. Can't stand up at lunch and no crop tops. I think I'm going to stop here for now. Because now they're getting too, no blackmail. Water must be in a clear bottle. So let's get, what's 50? Oh, I have to go outside at lunch. And there's no, I've never heard that one either. So anyway, that was 50 pointless rules. I guess they vote. That's how they get these things. Oh, I can vote on one? Oh, let me see which one I should vote on. Which one actually did I say was most pointless? I think uniforms. This one here again is pointless. No bathroom breaks. The student having enough lunch money. No electronics. Must do homework. No chewing gum. Some of these I don't think are pointless. Even if I was a kid, I wouldn't have thought these were pointless. See, some of the I don't even think some of these are rules. I don't know, but you'd be surprised out there when you give. Some schools have these because someone had just a minute of authority that they were waiting to get, and then they created some silly rule. So yeah, some of these are that. I think I'll vote for one of these up here, like no bathroom breaks. I vote for you. I voted. Anyway, all right, that's the one I thought was the most silliest of them all. Alrighty, thank you for watching. See you next time. Oh, where's my little stop button?